Hey everybody. So this is not going to be real long, but I am going to talk about what I got in the mail yesterday, which was what I was just showing you, and I'm going to take this one out of the. By the way, welcome to the channel. Gray Cloudy Day. I'm Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment. Grim Jack. This is a 5-issue miniseries thing that had came out, I guess, in 2005. Which the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, when I made the video about Ethan Van Sciver, I had briefly showed y'all one of my all-time favorite comic books from the 80s. It was in the 80s, Scout, and then Scout War Shaman, which I do believe it came out more in the right at 89, 90, 91, somewhere around that, if I remember correctly, with the Scout War Shaman. But I can go in there and look. So since that time, and I was telling you, my ambition is to do a video discussing Scout. It seems that most of what I have is Scout War Shaman, but I know I do have a book that it collects several of the Scout issues into one. I just got to find it. So anyway, since when I was talking about that my video is going to be about Scout and Timothy Truman, and also maybe any information I found out about the newer Scout, Marauder, which has been in works for a few years. And I have the sketchbook and then another book that came with it, which was just a preview without any coloring or words in it. But since then, also, I found this Grim Jack that I didn't know about. I knew about Grim Jack in the 80s, and I really remember liking Grim Jack because, of course, Timothy Truman is one of the creators. But it was also put out by a comic book company called First Comics, and I really, really just was so into I found out about First Comics and Eclipse and a few other more obscure comic book companies from the 80s from buying stuff at a flea market, which was secondary market, but I was finding good deals on comics I'd never seen or heard of, and most of them seemed to be, for me, I've always been drawn to a more adult-oriented style comic writing or whatever. I like graphic content. I like graphic stories. I like adult-oriented stories. It doesn't mean that I don't appreciate the type of comics that got me probably into comics years ago, which was superhero stuff and all that. But I'm not as much into that as I am maybe futuristic, like this one is set in the future. But what excited me when I found out about this was that the John Ostrander, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, and Timothy Truman came back together back in the 2000s and put out some more stories. And then I was enjoying this because I've read the first issue today. I read this first issue and I'm really enjoying it. What's cool is that they discuss in the back, that if you never had read any Grim Jack, you can get this story here and pick up right where it's at. You're not gonna be lost. And I like that. I like because I couldn't remember a lot about Grim Jack because I only had a few of Grim Jack, mainly because I only found them at the I found a few at the flea market. The ones that I found the most of were the Scout and stuff like that. And then I saw some of my favorite ones out at comic book stores, but a lot of times those particular type companies, even now, I've been looking for. I'd like to find a good deal on eBay of some of the older Grim Jacks, like a collective of them. I've seen some on eBay, but like some of them are just like single issues, and they're reasonably priced. I can get like the very first issue in pretty decent condition for nothing. I think $10 or less. But I would rather buy like as many of the issues as I could at once, even if they're not in great shape, because I might get them because I'm more interested in just going back. The same with Scout and other stuff that I was really into and didn't necessarily have the complete edition of back in the day. And just like Alien Legion was one of my favorites, and I've got a bunch of those, but they're in North Carolina, and I've thought about rebuying some of those off eBay and stuff, like used copies, and just recollecting them. But then I question, well, what's the point when I have a bunch of this stuff in North Carolina? And so really, if I want them bad enough and want to reread them, I'd probably come out better just seeing how much it costs for my friend to ship them to me. There's quite a few of them, so but trying to track down a bunch of the stuff that I already had collected years back when I was still there in North Carolina. Some of them are graphic novels. Some of them are the omnibuses that came out. But then I also found good deals on eBay at the time with almost complete sets of some of the runs. So that's how I got almost all of War Shaman here, Scout War Shaman. And this video I didn't have like a killer like segue into this other than I got Grim Jack yesterday and I got 5 issues of it. I read the first issue today. I see that this originally was in some kind of sale bin for $1, which is fine. Their problem, I got all 5 issues for like $10. So I got to say that was a good deal to me. I don't know what they're worth. Probably not any more than that. But I know when they came out, the cover price was $4 a piece, $3.99. So 5 times 4, that's $20. If I'd been buying them when they first put out, So years later, I discover it and find out about it, and then I get it at a decent deal. So that's where I'm at with a lot of my collection now. Like I said, I have backed a couple of things. 2 things by the Quaff. One, Quaff's own creation, Shotgun Samurai, and which the Legends, and then John Delarose and Quaff's not the Top G or whatever, not the Top G spoof, but the Top CG that Quaff was drawing. So that is the one I did back. I would have backed both of them, but at the time, I just couldn't. But that's okay, We aren't all, nobody, I don't think realistically, unless you're just a millionaire, could possibly, like if I was to collect every single thing and try to back everybody that I really liked, I'd have to be rich. And I think, so still got to get in on some Cyberfrog and stuff. I looked at something wrong, so this coming up month, I'm going to try to get in on that. But I'm going to end it here, man. I've just rambled on to you guys about comic books, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit different than what most people are used to seeing from me, because if you have been watching the channel, most of the time I'm talking about my daily life, my walk with God, or reading from certain books that are like motivational, spiritually based, or either I have read previously and it helped me in my life, or it's something that I was currently reading for the first time with everybody on video, which I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do once we're done with Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, because it's almost over. I have a book called 50 Things That Really Matter, and I think that might be the one I'll start within a week or two after ending this one I've been on for a while. So makes sense to me. I hope y'all have a good day, rest of the day. Till next time, this is Gray Cloud here, Sage of the Eternal Moment. I had fun doing this type of video. I feel weird because I feel out of water, but it is stuff that I'm into, so I'm not really out of water. Just not used to I hadn't made videos about this type of content in a while, and I just started a few weeks ago trying to get back into it. Something soon, hopefully, be coming from my action figure line world. What I have some ideas stirring on that too, and I already told you who I was, so ditto.